ahead of you.
Oh, baby. It's stream time. It is time to stream. And stream we shall. So to start our stream off, we're going to go over the dev blog that was just released. I'm just doing some highlighting here. We'll use this time to kind of let people filter into the stream, to the chat, to everything. I think a lot of people are probably watching, what's it called right now? That thing, Harry Potter Legacy. That's kind of seems to be the thing that's all over Twitch. So thank you for tuning in for another Darktide stream. Hey, bud. But going through this little ditty here, you know, I'll bring this up. We can look at this while I'm fixing it up here, because we're gonna record this portion. Acquiring weapons through this. There's a common. Okay, so there's that. Visual improve the selection of items in the catalog. There's that one. I read this earlier, and I'm just getting all the nice parts. So this is the dev blog that is pretty sick. Goes through the new crafting system and the new armory exchange. So Emperor's Gift is getting changed here. And I love this part. So the Emperor's Gift will actually be rewarded at the end of every mission from now on, once that patch goes live, with basis upon like chosen mission, difficulty, side missions, all those things. Our Milk Requisitorium collection of the grimoires and scriptures will be collapsed into a single contract, which is awesome. And also we'll be adding contracts for both plasteel and diamantine, which I do love right there. I like that little ditty. In addition to these changes, the contracts offered will be improving the quality of weapons offered by the ditty catalog. There it is. They had for Weaves and Vermintide 2. The community loved that system and begged Patch Art to make that the normal system in game. Vinny, I don't really know what that system is. I wish I could speak to it, my man. Bingley, what's up, my bro? So crafting. See, we're gonna reread this during the video. Part of this was working confirming the direction. In the future, we were excited about the direction we choose to take lessons. Yeah, FedSun, that's basically exactly what it is. It's a dev blog to tell us that the patch is coming. Can I be honest, Vinny? I don't like that system very much. I don't like the pick and choose. So when you can just pick and choose things at whim, there's no stakes involved in the game, and it becomes hollow. An example of this would be Diablo 3. Diablo 3 brought itself out from the gutter, but I think Diablo 3's gameplay style lends itself to just hollow gameplay where I'm not invested in anything I do. I feel like everything I do in Diablo 3, aside from the actual character that I'm playing, doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Whereas in Diablo 2, I've invested time in a build. I've spent my time to work on that build. Now with Diablo 2 Remastered, you can respec, which I actually kind of like, because then it's like, oh man, I spent like 3 points here and that's messing my whole build up. Okay, I'll redo it. But understandable. I liked it because it allowed to constantly change builds and not have to leave it to RNG when I wanted to try something. And Vinny, I do appreciate that. I wish that the Psychanium allowed me to go through and pick and choose whatever weapon I want and test the weapon how I want to see if I like it. That way I can test a whole bunch on my own in effectively a null and void location, and then start to build towards that weapon. Or it'd be even cooler if you could like save a blueprint of the weapon and start to kind of build it according to it. So you don't have to write it down somewhere or something like that. It's in like some sort of kind of bank where I can go, oh, okay, it's got, well, it doesn't really have the 25%, it's got the 20%, blah, 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 blah. Like, I kind of like that. Yeah, I know you can do that in Modded Realm in Vermintide 2. I just think that, and I know a lot of people don't like the locking system of the perks and the blessings But I think that if you don't have the locking system, there's no stakes in the game. And every time they release a balance patch, everyone goes and changes their weapon to the new flavor of the month. And I just don't like that play style. And I think it's kind of, it's just kind of a play style that has become very prevalent the last 5-6 years of games just simply having a switch where you go, oh, well, I'm just going to play like this instead. I like this instead. I like this instead. You remove replayability by kind of making incremental ability to change small things in a larger platform, I feel like. And that's what and FedSun, I'm not saying that full RNG is the answer. I'm just saying that, like, I think that there is a better system than full customization and full RNG. And I don't think the locking is truly the fix. But it's a nice interim until something's figured out, because it's like I said, maybe if I could lock, if I changed my blessings, it locked my perks. If I changed my perks, it locked my blessings. That's still really rough, because honestly, you could have a brutal momentum axe and all these things, but honestly, a lot of the things that really make a weapon are its perks. You have some shit locked in and meta changes, then people are going to chase it, are going to end up with what they want anyway. Yeah, and that's very true. That's very true. Yeah, and I think like both FedSun and Cheap Shot, you both are making really good points. You know, you're saying people will get the top tier everything way too fast and get bored. And FedSun saying the people that want it are going to get it. And you're going to screw over the people that don't want to play that level of hardcore. I think, like, yeah, it does make it more accessible for more people, but I also think that it makes it more flippant and makes it more easy for people to come, taste the game, and leave and never want to come back. It's what Diablo 3 suffers from. Like I said, Diablo 3, you make a character, you swap your runes out nonstop, and then, okay. Like, I know most people that played Diablo 3 never played all the way to the end of the game. And then that's where the game unlocks. As I suck the clit of the fucking protein shaker. If the game is good, they will stay. I don't believe that. And I'm not like coming down on you, Fed. I'm just saying, like, I think if the game is good, they'll say it was really good, but they won't stay. I agree. I don't think the end game should be gear either. They need to add the heavy bolter. All things aside, they need to add the heavy bolter. I agree. The gear should be part of it. And if the gear were rewarded on a more reliable system with like high-end RNG, like, I think, like, if I did certain things to be guaranteed an orange and the orange had guaranteed set minimum modifiers, I'd be cooler with the RNG, right? If they said, hey, if you complete your weeklies for a week, you are guaranteed an orange, maybe an orange weapon of your choice, or an orange weapon with 370 modifier minimum. That's a pretty good incentive to do the weeklies and get an RNG. Now, I'm just saying that I'm just thinking, spitballing off the top of my head here. I'm just saying, though, that, like, if RNG wasn't truly RNG for that end game, and it was more of like a, hey, here's your high end type of RNG. I topped the leaderboard in season 3 or 4, and everybody just copied my build and beat me because they had more playtime. They need some kind of high-end boss fights or something that endgame would give you secret. Yeah, you see, that's the problem is, regardless of this crafting, regardless of so many things, there's no real high-end reward for anything. There's no stakes in that regard. And that's, I think, where true stakes come from, right, FedSun? Is high-risk, high-reward type situations. Like, oh, man, I'm going to go, like, balls out on this mission, and it's going to be really hard, and I can get an orange at the end of it or something like that. Sorry, my mom texted me. My mom texts, I always make sure everything's okay. So let's go ahead and... let me finish this, because we're going to go through it. Or how about something crazy like weapon set bonuses? No, J. Rago, you didn't. We're going to go through all this. I'm highlighting it for the video. No change from the previous crafting system measures we discussed that we will be not implementing fuse combined blessing functionality. Okay. I'll put that in green. Instead, earning a blessing will permanently unlock the ability Get that blessing any time. How about something crazy like weapon set bonuses that could incentivize some less efficient weapons in a set? I think that'd be a really good idea. Because I think the weapons right now are in a really weird spot because everything works off the same exact everything. A decision that is to require, as stated in the previous section about equipment, we expect players to try out new weapons as they discover different. But I mean, I do like that there is some form of RNG that does require you to get a good base perk or a good blessing. I don't know why, because I think if I can just swap off both, it doesn't really do much for me. I'm just like, cool, I'm just pick and choosing. Like the weapon inherently doesn't mean anything. I'm just adding things to a skin of a weapon at that point, if it makes sense like that. Earning the ability to permanently re-bless allows for a far more enjoyable, less time-consuming experience. Okay, in combination with this, we're improving the other aspect of crafting. We have a cost scaling system, which I actually really like. Okay, so let's recap. So consecrate, refine perk. I think this is the part. Here's a little bit of a problem. Since it just drops down to free anyway, it should roll a list of 3 and re-roll the list of 3 and re-roll the list of 3 and re-roll the list of 3. And that way you can pull from the list of 3. Because you're just sitting there pressing the same one over and 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 over. Or if it's locked, yeah, like you said, I'm refining the perk, make it a higher cost, and just let me choose the perk outright. And why does it matter? I mean, yeah, at that point it's like, I think just take the total cost of what it would be to make it free and make that the cost to refine the perk, lock the perk, and let me choose it from a list. I mean, I get the part of like having an RNG, but as far as like a fun lottery system, but I feel like this system at one point had something else involved in it, like a different currency, like maybe like a cost currency. Okay. Oops, didn't mean to press that button. Whatever the hell that did. Composing a new tweet. Never mind. Yeah, I agree. Like, if it just needs to simply be chosen. Lock the perk and let me choose it. Okay, so here's a dumb thing. Okay, we're talking about that, right, Fed Son? Here. Rebless effectively works exactly how you and I would envision a refined perk. Players can choose to replace a single blessing on the weapon with the blessing of choice they have earned the right to use. The other blessing that was not chosen will be locked. The entire weapon by losing the process. And so one thing I do really like this are shared across weapon marks. So if I want to try all the combat axes with a Mark III blessing, cool, that can do it. There you go. I can do that. And I think too that what I like about having blessings not just go ahead and go and pull them, you do still have to deal with the RNG of trying to find the nice blessing to then do whatever you want with it. And then having to choose within that choice of blessing how, okay, well, I've got okay, so here's the big thing with earn blessing. If I have a tactical axe with brutal momentum rank 3, can I rip it off and put it on a combat axe? I'm reading it like that. That's how I'm reading it. It destroys that tactical axe. I can now put it onto a combat axe as I wish. And that I think is kind of fun because then we're saying that, hey, you basically have found a token, right? Think of the blessing as a token, and you're ripping that token off of one and putting it on the one you want. And you kind of have to think about how you want to do it. And I think that's really fun. It does not depend on the mark, Stain. Blessings are shared across different weapons. Weapon marks of the same weapon type. If you guys are watching on YouTube, guys, please do jump over to Twitch as we go to make the pursuit for Twitch partner. And I think it also kind of makes a system in place of like, hey, I want to get brutal momentum. Okay, well, what weapon has the smallest amount of blessings but also has brutal momentum on it? I'm going to roll that as much as I can to try and get that. Okay, I've got it. Rip it off, put it on whatever I want. So the patch is called The Blessings of the Omnissiah. Dude, I feel like I need some music on right now. It's like oddly quiet. Here we go. Yeah, dude, I haven't broken down a single item. I think I did one or two because I needed money to buy something. You know, I just pawned it off and I'm gonna buy blowjobs. But yeah, I'm gonna basically. I think the big thing that we all should be doing now, because we don't know what this costs. We don't know what Earn Blessing costs. So my big warning in the video I'm about to make, we're gonna record this video, guys, is gonna be to stockpile your plasteel and your diamantine, because we don't know what Earn Blessing does or how it works. We do know it does, we don't know how it works. So if it costs plasteel and diamantine to do it, you want to make sure you have a bank of it if you have a ton of weapons in your inventory. So that's going to be my big note in the video. Okay, so changes come. This one's good. So unfortunately, it's the announcement to the announcement to the announcement, really, right? Because as mentioned, the next patch of Darktide will include these changes to the crafting system and item acquisition. We'll continue to monitor feedback once you... There are a number of additional features, changes, and improvements to come in this next patch, which we'll be discussing in our next community comlink. We'll see you again in the next comlink. I think the comlinks are supposed to be every Thursday now. Is that what it's supposed to? Because in the next community comlink, they make it sound like this is a comlink, so maybe that correspondence happens every week. Yeah, I see. That's, I think. Yeah, if someone sees that, if someone sees something online on like Reddit or whatever about what this all means timeline-wise, let me know. What? Oh my god, damn it. Well, I'm not going to go through and re-highlight all this. I'm just going to kind of do it live. Screw it. Fuck it. We're going to do it live. Sometimes this thing didn't used to. This super highlighter didn't used to just erase the stuff that I would look at, but now it fucking does. So, all right, guys, we're going to do this live. I'm actually going to shut my webcam off for this and hang tight. So let's go ahead and record. Now I'm just pissed off. I'm so pissed off about this because I'm like, oh man, those were all my talking points that I had highlighted. Blessing. Motherfucking tone on it. Yeah, hey, here's all the cool shit happening in the game, but this fucking thing removed my blessings, or my blessings. So fuck it. It's worth noting that profane weapons in Darktide. Yes. You know, it's kind of like true and not true because your blessing is based off of your item rating. So your first blessing on any weapon you ever get, unless it is rolled as an orange, which happens with Melk, it will always be a low blessing. Well, not always. It has a chance to be a higher blessing, but since it's based off of the item rating, if going from gray to blue, that first blessing, it more than likely will be 1 or 2. If I were to go from blue then to orange, the orange blessing is going to roll based off of the item rating, which is now higher, and it's probably going to be a 3 or a 4. Melk, for example, has nothing but pretty much 2s, 3s, and 4s, right? He very rarely has just a rank 1 blessing. And it's because the game rolls an orange, which has a high item rating, and then adds the blessing in. Or something along those lines, at least. Ugh. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's pink. It's not what I want. Or it was purple, I think. Okay, now we can fucking do this. Son of a bitch. All right, we got ourselves a new dev blog in from Darktide, and with it, it gives us a whole breakdown of how crafting is going to come to the game, the big armory changes that are coming, as well as Melk's Requisitorium. All those things are going to drastically change the way that Darktide is played. We can now finally tool out and kind of custom, well, quote unquote custom, there's an asterisk there, build out the weapons we want, because now we'll be able to choose the weapons we want from the store, which we can get at a gray or just profane level and build them up as we wish. I'm really excited for this system because it'll finally give us the ability to kind of custom build and tailor out weapons that we want, with of course the asterisk that there is still the locking that's going to happen with perks and blessings in the future. So this video, we're going to just simply cover the dev blog, that they go through the details and all those things. If that's all you wanted to know that's in this dev blog, then that's all there is. There's no actual feature show off aside from the armory exchange. Some other big notes too: the Emperor's gifts will be rewarded at the end of every mission now, dependent upon the difficulty and any side missions, stuff like that. Melk's Requisitorium is going to have a change to its contracts, so we're going to start to see stuff like scriptures and grimoires are put together as one contract, thank God. Also, we're going to see contracts that say, hey, go get plasteel and diamantine, which is really cool because it'll kind of lead into the crafting system and Melk's Requisitorium in and of itself. So a lot of amazing changes coming whenever this patch does land. It does seem like it's landing maybe in 2 weeks, because they said that they'll be going through the entirety of the patch, it seems, in the next comm link, which sounds like it would be next week, followed by a patch that week, if not the week after. So hopefully then that the age-old next week is coming here for Darktide, but hopefully we'll be seeing that by at least middle of February to have some fun with the crafting. But if that's all you wanted to know, then you are free to head out. But before you do, please don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe. All those things do help out any content creator you watch. And we're currently actually actively streaming while I record this video. So please do head on over to my Twitch, twitch.tv/ItalianSpartacus, to watch me stream Darktide every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. But for those that want to stick around and get into the deep dive here into the shrine, let's have fun with the new crafting system coming to Warhammer 40k Darktide. Okay. Take a little sip of my coffee. Okay. All right, guys, let's crack into this one. We're good to go. So here is our dev blog, and with it, we just kind of get a lot of the same stuff that we've heard so far. But I will say, just to open up this portion of the video, this whole dev blog is really awesome, and it really excites me for a lot of the things coming to the game. I think it's all the things that we really wanted and need in the game right now. But my biggest issue with the dev blog is that it's being released in the beginning of February, when it very well could have been released at the beginning of January, where it should have been released. And I know a lot of people are going to say like, hey, well, man, don't be so negative, you know, think things on the positive. Like, hey, I am being positive. I'm just saying that, like, I can't let that little portion off the hook, because when you read through this blog with me, you're going to see that so much of it says, hey, over the winter break or over December, by January, basically, they knew that there was a problem and they weren't going to be able to get this out. And I think that this blog should have been the first thing that went out, ahead of even the Vox transmission that went out the 6th of January. That's the only real thing I want to say, is that it needed to come out way sooner so that we all could have known something cool was coming, and that we could have gotten excited about it. Because this makes it sound like that they're laying this out before us as a gift, when it's like, no, I wanted this from the start. So let's get into this, because it is ball-splittingly awesome. So this led us to identify key issues. That's what they were running into, are issues that they saw with the completion of the crafting system. The functionality of these crafting features was completed in December, and internally we began playtesting how they functioned, felt, and fit within the game. This led us to identify key issues with our features surrounding blessings: earn blessing, fuse combined blessing, and rebless. We are not happy with the releasing these features to our players with their current implementation. We're going to explain further why we arrived at this decision. So basically, it's them saying, like, you know, the current iteration of what they had intended isn't good, or it was not what they wanted. Which is funny, because when you read through what it is, it doesn't feel like it's that different than what you would think would be the intention behind the titles of each one of these crafting things. So we identified that these issues from item acquisition, and that's kind of what caused the crafting issues, the item acquisition bloat. But we identified these issues from item acquisition would be further compounded by the blessing crafting features we had implemented. It would result in a frustrating experience for players. We decided to hold back the additional crafting functionality while we revisit our item acquisition systems to alleviate the would-be strain on the crafting system. And I guess, like, the current item acquisition system, I don't think of it as like as an unending tide of items, you know, like it is not a dark tide of items. It is a wait every hour for an item you want. And the new system they're adding in, it feels like, yeah, I can just go ass crazy with my items now, and I can go through the crafting system. So I feel like it's kind of it's a weird like in between in the sentence. And I don't know what they're saying. I don't know if they're saying that the new system would have created issues with the implemented crafting, or if the old acquisition system would cause issues with the new crafting. So it's kind of a funky spot. But they kind of talk about Vermintide to Darktide as far as why not just porting the crafting systems over, but there are some similarities between the two games with the modification options, yet Darktide will carve its own path when it comes to crafting. Instead, it is centered around modifying weapons rather than weapon creation, and we will have a heavier focus on acquiring exciting items of different potential through many sources in the game. And one thing I've really kind of at least gotten the sense of by going through a lot of this is that there's a lot of stuff coming to blessings and or the crafting or something of the sort, because it seems like they're trying to kind of quote unquote future-proof something. And I'll talk about that in a sec. But so equipment in Darktide. We want each weapon and curio players find in Darktide to have a distinctive difference of potential within. The foundation we set with modifiers, perks, and blessings changes how each weapon can potentially perform. The combination of these offers an exciting array of variety, and we want players to continue acquiring many variations in pursuit of interesting build diversity. So then the first portion of this is how the army exchange works. And with the new patch coming, patch number 4, we will release a new feature to the army exchange where players can acquire any weapon type by its mark that has been unlocked by achieving the minimum level required. This will be made available in the next patch in Darktide. So, non-catalog weapon requisitions. Acquire a specific weapon mark of your choosing. The weapon will come with randomized values and may vary in quality. So I think that the store is staying as it is, but we're also getting this. So you get randomly generated items on the store that it can be gray, green, blue, maybe even purple. Like I'm hoping that they eventually add in purple. But now we can just straight up non-catalog weapon requisitions, right? Because it's not in the catalog that he's offering us. We're requisitioning one of them. So I wonder if it's going to be something like that where, hey, you can build one from scratch, or you can kind of roll the dice with ones we've given you and go from there. Like maybe you don't want to deal with the crafting system and you just want to see what's there, and here it is. So I think that this is being added in addition to the existing armory exchange. It's not necessarily clear. Well, I'm going to have to edit that out. Acquiring weapons through this new requisition system in the armory will give players a common profane rarity weapon of a varying item rating according to their character's current level. It is worth noting that the profane weapons in Darktide have the most potential of becoming powerful weapons in combination with their base modifiers and via upgrades through crafting. Hey, guess what? I'm not recording right now. That doesn't make me happy. So here, okay. That was annoying. So this portion over here, acquiring weapons through this new requisition system in the armory will give players a common profane rarity weapon of a varying item rating according to the character's current level. It is worth noting that the profane weapons in Darktide have the most potential of becoming powerful weapons in combination with their base modifiers and via upgrades through crafting. So a very nice change to item acquisition that I'm very excited for. And furthermore, there's a different change to item acquisition in the Emperor's Gifts. So Emperor's Gifts now will be delivered at the end of every mission, no longer based off of some sort of weird timeline or whatever kind of weird existential things existed. So in addition, the Emperor's Gift will be influenced by several factors: the difficulty of the chosen mission and the conditions inside missions completed. Both factors will improve the chances of receiving an item with higher potential, which I very much do enjoy. And again, it's just going to be delivered to you at the end of every single mission, so you at least have a steady flow of items coming in now. Sire Melk will also get a change here, mainly towards his contracts. The reward ingots too, increasing the reward ingots players will receive for completing tasks, is going to be a nice change here. And the collection of grimoires and scriptures will be collapsed into a single contract for completing these collectible side missions. We will also add a couple of new contracts for collecting both plasteel and diamantine. I do really like this one since it's already a team-wide thing, and it's going to feed into the new crafting system. I do love this very much. Importantly, and in addition to these changes to the contracts offered, we will be improving the quality of the weapons offered by the daily catalog and through the mystery acquisitions. So nice to see that those will get a quality bump as well. And like I said, I hope for improving the quality of weapons offered by the daily catalog. I hope that that is just something of the sort of, hey, we're going to make it so the base modifier roll on anything coming out of Melk is 360 or 370. And that way, you're at least getting a very good weapon. Like, how many times have you checked Sire Melk and he's got badass blessings on him, or maybe good perks, but it's got like 10% damage because the overall modifier is like 310 or 290 or some crap like that. It's like, I'm not going to spend my weekly currency on that. No, sir. Unlocking crafting here. So shortly after the winter break, we reevaluated the direction. That's why I put that in red. We already talked about it already. But this sets us up to ensure that changes we made now in the short term would set us on the best possible path to and synergize with future features and content. A significant part of this work was confirming the direction for weapon blessings and where they will fit in the future. While we are excited about the direction we chose to take these blessings, we will save the discussion for another time. So like I said, I feel like everything in this whole crafting rework is future-proofing something coming that we have no idea what it is or if it's cool or not. But I feel like them taking a look at the system went, ah, man, but this is really going to rough up patch number 15 or patch number 8 or patch 10 when we talk about adding this feature into it. Yeah, you're right. Let's work on it now. Let's rip the bandage off now. So, I just kind of, I wonder what that means. I think somewhere in this paragraph is the real truth of what happened with the crafting system. And it's kind of like mired in a bunch of cryptic wording. So I don't know. So the first major change from the previous crafting implementation we discussed is that we will not be implementing the fuse and combine blessing functionality. Instead, earning a blessing will permanently unlock the ability to re-bless with that blessing at any time. We made this decision as it complements where we will take blessings in the future, and it greatly alleviates the number of items that one would need to acquire, not only the ability to re-bless, but also what you can re-bless with. So I don't know what this means as far as re-blessing and a single blessing. Do I rip off, is it a 1-to-1? Do I rip off a Brutal Momentum 3 from an Antax 5, and can I only put it on a combat axe? Because we know that it can go on weapons regardless of their mark. Or do I rip off a Brutal Momentum from a tactical axe, and can I put it on then any other item I want? I just don't know if it's locked from base weapon to base weapon, you know, like devoid of mark, like tack axe to tack axe, or can it be from the tack axe to a combat axe? So I guess we'll have to take a look at that in the future. Earning the ability to permanently rebless allows for a far more enjoyable and less time consuming experience and an easier time experimenting with the interesting builds for your characters. In combination with this, we're also improving the other aspects. We have implemented a cost scaling system that will change the total material cost required depending on the weapon item's rating for all actions at the Shrine of the Omnissiah. So we have Consecrate. We just upgrade the rarity. We already know this right now. Upgrading Profane and Redeemed will cost Plasteel, and after that, Plasteel and Diamantine are recovered. I believe we already know this. Refined Perk. So find a single perk on an item to roll for a new perk selected at random. The perk that was not chosen to be refined will be locked for this weapon. We already have this one. And I think at this point, it shouldn't be random. Like, I get that it's random and you're spending some money. I'd rather that refined perk cost a little bit more and we just chose from a list. If it's already locking the other perk, what's the point? I'm just going to re-roll it anyway until I get to the free point, because at that point I'm already pot committed. I've locked the other perk. I'm just going to sink the amount of plasteel that I need to make it work for me. And it's such a small amount of plasteel that it's not a plasteel dump. I think that making a weapon have a free perk re-roll by dumping all the necessary plasteel into it, I think it costs maybe 100 plasteel. So just don't make it random. Just let me do it. If you're going to keep the locking system in, cool with that, fine. Let me just choose the perk. Because, we'll talk about this in Rebless, I'm already going to choose the blessing I want with the lock in place. So earn blessing. Surrender the entire weapon to Hadron, thereby losing it in the process. Players then can select a blessing to earn the right to permanently re-bless other weapons with the earned blessing. Blessings are shared across different weapon marks of the same weapon type. So I think that it's not really laid out, right? Not as a full explainer of saying, for example, this. I think that it says other weapons with the earned blessing. I think that this tells me I can rip it off of a tactical axe and then put it onto the same shared across different weapon marks of the same weapon type. So I think that I can rip it off of a tack axe and put it onto a combat axe. I'm not sure. Moving into Rebless, though, players can choose to replace a single blessing on the weapon with a blessing of choice they have earned the right to use. The other blessing that was not chosen will become locked. So that's our earned blessing. You rip it off, and then Rebless, you're adding it to that thing, to that weapon. So this will be patch number 4, Blessings of the Omnissiah. We don't know when this is coming. The next patch, Darktide, will include these changes to the crafting system and item acquisition. We will continue to monitor feedback once it's in your hands, and we'll continue blah, 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 blah. Number of additional features, changes, and improvements to come in this next patch we will be discussing in our next community comm link. So if we go take a look here, the first community comm link came out on the 2nd, which is a full week ago. They said, thank you all for reading, and we will see you again in the next comm link. I don't know if they're saying that this is considered a comm link or not. It says a dev post, so maybe it's not. So I'm hoping the comm link comes out on Tuesday and we get the patch on Thursday. But I think realistically, the comm link will probably come out on Thursday. Maybe it will come with the patch, because we did actually get the patch 5 days after the comm link last time. And I don't think that we should look at patterns like that. I'm just trying to get a suss of an idea of how their thought process is. I don't know if it's going to be, hey, here's the comm link as a post that talks about the patch that's coming today, tomorrow. Or, hey, here's the comm link that's talking about the patch that's coming next week like they did last time. So we'll have to see what that looks like in the future. But go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. How are you feeling about this? Are you excited about the future of Darktide? I think that this is a massive step in the right direction. We needed this a long time ago. We needed the crafting because it gives you so much more replayability. Even in the current situation of the maps and not being able to custom choose whatever maps we want, blah, 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 I at least now can play around with weapons I want by ripping blessings off and putting them onto stuff that we want. A big note, we do not know how Earn Blessing works when it comes to plasteel and diamantine. You probably have a ton of weapons that you've been banking for this moment. I do. I know a lot of other people do. Save your diamantine and your plasteel until this patch comes out so that you can rip them all off as you see fit and put them onto the weapons you want. Save, 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 save. Just bank it. Just bank it for the next 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever the hell it is. And we'll be in a good position to really play with a lot of different guns, weapons, and fun stuff. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Let me know what you're thinking about the deep dive into the shrine. Like I said, I think this is really going to change the game for the drastic better. But have a good one and take care. All right, we are done recording. Sub goal, Twitch alerts, YouTube alerts, me. So let's have fun. Let's play the game now. I'm sorry, guys, I could not read any of your chat because if I read your chat, I would have not focused on reading anymore. Let's see what any of you bros said. You guys say anything fun? Ain't gonna sting you. That's my choice. Oh, how are we supposed to try different builds when the blessings get locked? Only one of them gets locked, Glory Girl. And since we can build one up from the ground up, see the modifier thing too. I didn't really talk about in the video, but modifiers are still random, right? Sorry, guys.
Another loyal devotee.
Who wants to see a miniature I'm painting? Yeah, man. I never ever thought I would use my acting stuff, but I do. Here, did you want the here? Someone's MySpace. Here you go. Here's the actual notes there for you. What do you? I know what we're doing. Your tiny fun thing. I'll be right back. I went to grab it and I just fucking chucked it on accident. It's very not done, but you shall see as I do this. Let me have to put this behind it. Wow, it's deleting that box. How does it know it's not a hand? Here, my face in front of it. Come on, focus. Focus, buddy. There it is. Here, what am I even fucking doing? I have a close-up picture that I took of it. What's wrong with me? Hold on. Oh, you see bubs? Like, I'm sitting over here like, yeah, take a look at this thing I drew. I painted. Meanwhile, I have a full-blown picture of it that I sent Turin. Here. And another episode of ItalianSpartacus is a dumb man. ItalianSpartacus is a dumb man. Guys, if you are watching over here on YouTube, please do jump over to Twitch, as that would mean a lot to me. So here you go. See, you can really blow it up now. You see the worst part about looking at it in this screen? Like, I can see that I missed putting skeleton horde right here and here and here, and I'm like, and here, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go back and fucking fix that. Fucking motherfucking son of a bitch. But I mean, obviously, yeah, you know, and this is really my first time going to town with contrast. I've never really used contrast in this much of a scope, and I'm learning, like, you get like a lot of weird stuff like this, little like weird white specks where you thought it was fully covered and it wasn't. Where I'm so used to building up from layer. I've been building up from layer since I was like fucking 9 years old. So like, okay, there's a little white spot here, there's a white spot here, there's a white spot there and right in here. And when you're applying it, there's so much gloss, and there's so much reflect, like right here too. There's so much reflect right there. These just these little tiny, like, no one's gonna care about this, right? But you find out that when you're dealing with this stuff, there's so much glare on the actual model, because I've got two lights that I can't tell if it's the gray sear or if it's just glare. But dude, I absolutely love it. Like, I was able to push so I'm doing all three of them at once. I'm just doing, because contrast takes a long time to dry, I'm like, okay, we're doing the horns on this guy, horns the next one, horns the next one, horns the next one. All right, we're doing this and this guy, next one, next one, next one. And I love it. I love it. It's been such a fun, streamlined process, because it always was just grueling. Okay, we got the layer down. Cool. Let's add the shade. Like, dude, I cannot tell you how annoying it is to paint blood angels. Heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of blood angels. Okay, let's prime them black. Let's prime them red, zenithal them black, or the other way around. And it's just such a headache. I did not like it, Sam I Am. I did not like it with eggs or ham. But I love painting with contrast, because you get like 4 or 5 contrast paints onto the model and you feel like you've made progress, right? Whereas otherwise you're painting 10 fucking what's up, Wes? Yeah, the new States of Darkness minis are amazing. Whereas before, hey, do popping in while having a smoke, how goes your research? 6 feet or something. We actually just got into the game. We were going through the dev blog that came out. That was pretty sweet to look at. But yeah, you with contrast, you feel like you're actually putting paint onto the models, and you feel like you're moving forward, versus have you done 10 blood angels? All right, well, we covered them all in Mephiston red. Cool, that took 2 fucking layers. All right, now let's take Agrax Earthshade and let's just hit the edges. Okay, that in and of itself takes 1 hour per model, it feels like. It's such a tedious process. Have you tried mixing a new red contrast with the name of Mephiston red of the base paint? It's amazing. Do you mean, boom, ball red? Yeah, I got ball red. I haven't used it yet, though. So Roman here, you guys remember he cracked his claw, right? Where do you think you're trying to go? Where do you think you're going? It's day 5 of his injury, so he gets his little cone off. He's still on a little bit of a pain med, so that he keeps his energy nice and low. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. But it's healing really well. His cone is off, but I gotta still like watch him, look for him. Blue balls. Now there's red balls. This wouldn't be terrible if it was good. Sounds like a knuckle dragger. Dude, Abertrol, you have no idea how much I actually really love the term knuckle dragger, and I use it all the time. Yeah, he was running around, he had the zoomies, and he slammed his fucking foot against his crate, man. I was like, buddy. Okay, I know what I said, but I'm going to defy what I said, because I am a streamer, and I need to give you guys... I need to provide entertainment. So let's put the Vraks back on. This is my good-ish one. And let's have some fun again. You see, one thing I think the best thing when it comes to the premium skins, by the way, I hope the next patch brings premium skins. Like, I know that that's like shilly shit, but I fucking love the premium skins at this point. But you know what's really fun about the premium skins are these things. I don't want this skin. I want that. You know, well, not really specifically that. Actually, I hate that. I want like these things. I buy the weapon skins in the premium packs more than anything. I don't really buy the... I've not bought a single full pack. Like, okay, like this, like nothing in this pack really enticed me, but this did. Oh, no, wrong one, sorry. But this did. So, how about that? Yeah, we're about to play a game, Bombastic. Pierce pockfuckers, I'm fairly certain the brace does. The brace does, Wesley. Dude, yeah, 100% kit bash for my cosmetics. I love that they did that. How about the Zealot goggles? They do nothing. I do, because I play just so much of it, and when I see like this, I'm like, man, this is really boring looking. The single shot Vraks is nice, but I like the burst a little bit more, because someone made a really good point on my post that the burst actually... Ooh, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be terrible. That the burst actually applies... when you crit with the burst shot, the whole burst gets the crit. Not just one shot in the burst. So it's 3 rounds that all come out as crits. Which I like very much. Oh yeah, I was playing with that commando build you guys had me do, and it's very fun. Going with counterfire and then using the braced autogun. We'll play with that today. I'll do that one today. But I'm gonna make a guide video for it, a build guide video, and just do like, you know, I'll take Arnold Schwarzenegger from Commando, and I'll put the veteran sharpshooter's head on him. It's so fun. Drive the heretic rabble from consignment yard Sigma 57 and signal for reinforcements.
They seem a bit small, don't they?
We are all part of the Omnissiah's great machine. They play their role.
This place belongs to...
Do you guys like... I minimize the UI to its minimum. Do you guys want me to keep it at its normal so you can see it? Probably should. I'll just do it anyway. There you go. I had it down to take screenshots. That's how I take screenshots. Yeah, you know, it's like the people I expect not to be strapped in on a Stormbird are Space Marines, you know, because they can just magnetize their boots. Wax on, wax off. Want to see more shine on that? Dude, I should. Okay, I'm too much time in chat. Guys, please help me out. I'm trying to get my Twitch partnership, so if you are watching on YouTube, do jump on over to YouTube, as that will... I have to get 75 average viewers for a whole week. So one thing too, I don't know if it was patched or if it was always like this, but the ADS, the actual sight picture, is way better on the Vraks after the patch, if indeed it did come with the patch. Thank you very much, guys. What am I looking for? I'm kind of scatterbrained right now. I'm trying to... Oh yeah, baby. Oh, I hear you. Oh, didn't know he was down there. I'm not going to stay in that lovely room of death. These two do. What are these three doing? Do they know that the point of the mission's not to hold that strong point? Honestly, I think probably one of the better routes is like down there. This is a little exposed, as you can see.
Engaging. Focus. Fire.
Oh.
Damn it.
I wish that those, like... Is this how... Yeah, I wish that that had more of a stagger. Because then it'd be worth it, you know? It'd be worth it to kind of... To use that, those specials if it actually truly bought you room. Oof. Heard that, brother.
Muty's dead. Thank you, beloved.
You ever close a browser and go back to that browser and be like, who's looking at all this porn? Yeah, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's on that he's on that Agrippina infantry. Yeah, that's what I checked, Double, is to see if it ignored stagger. Kind of sniper guns, do you think the special attack would be more of a flipping scope or something? That actually would be really cool if it was a, what are those scopes called? Sorry guys, I was reading all that chat and just getting my butt fucked. Like a canted scope that you can just flip into it. Yeah, the Warhammer 40k rulebooks used to have a lot more... They used to have some of the best lore. It made buying the rulebooks particularly useful because there's so much fun in the lore. What is my favorite game of all time? Get away. It's really hard to say, man. I think my favorite game of all time is Ultima Online.
Come on, boss. We need you in the fight.
So I'm gonna throw that out, huh?
To get back in the fight. Sigma, something's dead.
Roman, I might have to put your cone on, buddy. I'm sorry. You keep walking to places that I can't see, and I gotta make sure you're not fucking with your paw, bud. Yes. Boy. Stay. Taking away Gene Stealer power weapon attack. Yeah, you know, Gene Stealers were so scary. Gene Stealers were so scary because I think you could feel them at 11 points a model back in the day. And they were just, for those that don't know, depending on when you can. Oh, great. I thought that was going to bounce off that. So power weapons in I think 7th edition still had power weapons like this, but power weapons pre 8th and 9th used to outright ignore armor, and 11 points, 4 strength, 4 toughness, and ignored all saves but involved. There you go. And Gene Stealers from the Tyranids, their claws counted as... Were they really weapon skill 6? Counted as... power weapons. So their attacks would ignore armor. So, you know, Morrowind is... oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. In general, the Elder Scrolls games have such every single stage of my life, there's been an Elder Scrolls game that's come out that's, like, been a huge pivotal defining moment of it for me. PlanetSide 2, right? I played so much PlanetSide 1 up as much PlanetSide 2. I have an ungodly amount of hours played in my very first character in World of Warcraft. My very first WoW character has over a year of slash played. Hey, get Morrowind's for free right now on Prime Gaming, guys, so pick up Morrowind if you don't have it. You get a GOG version of it. Oof. Oh, hi, friend. Spellcrafting was in Oblivion, too. I don't think... I never really did it on Morrowind, though. I played a warrior in Morrowind. For I was young. Rick, thank you very much for following, my man. If you guys are watching on YouTube, please do help me out. Sorry, guys, I keep checking over my shoulder to make sure Roman's not licking his paw, but I mean, he should be fine. He broke his whole nail off, and today is like the first day he can not have his cone on. He's on a pain med right now just to kind of keep his energy down. Oh, sleepy puppies. I thought Gene Stealers had rending ignore armor on wound. Yeah, Rick, that's a new thing. I'm talking about OG, like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, I think even up to 7th edition. Gene Stealers were like that. Hipfire for it. So Patrick, it's not bad. Let's play around with it. Oh! If you are attacking a maniac, you should be using light attacks. Let's play around with it, Pat. Let's see what it's like. I've always been going ADS. It's not terrible, though. Oh, this will be a fun thing to test it on. What are you doing? Oh, you should sniper, then I got shot. That's not bad. I'd rather just go with the ADS, though, I think, my man. So the big thing with ADS versus non-ADS with the Headhunter is how the recoil operates. And if you can remind me after this mission, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Oh, because there's different recoil values for ADS versus hipfire, and oh fuck, those guys are gonna mess me up. Loving this. On fire. Melting. But they have different ADS versus hipfire recoil values. Their ADS value is... Dude, guy just picked me up out of the blue here. What a chief. What a G. Did that not kill it? Hey man, someone had to. That's right, crawl up in its ass. Name a more iconic duo. Oh wait. Yeah, what you need to do is you need to get perks that give you bonuses to them. So basically the big thing with your perks is you have to look at damage breakpoints. And breakpoint is as far as like that term is concerned in this constraint. You're looking for any way to basically effectively one-shot something or get as close to it as possible with a high damage breakpoint on the like the pistol. I want 25% unarmored because then I can one-shot. Oh, scabs, right? Pretty much any type of scab. For this, and really the thing you want to do is look at what bonuses you get from. What bonuses you get from your innate abilities on your gun. So this one, I think it does have very low maniac, so I would want to get a maniac plus 25%. Or unyielding, maybe. Oh! I expect the spawn to be added to the game. We have seen the spawn already in the trailer. Heal up. Yeah, I saw that SSBM. I was like, I'm gonna aggro this thing. Remember, I'm at 75% toughness reduction in this mode, so I don't give a shit. I can just tank everything, take my shots as needed. Opening cutscene, thank you, yes. Thinking about getting into AdMech. Anybody have any tips for them? Green Dragon, if you played Death Guard and Chaos Knights, just know that playing AdMech. Okay, you're familiar with Poxwalkers and Plague Bearers. They're pretty easy to paint, right? But just know that if you're jumping with AdMech, you have a lot of minis to paint. A lot of minis to paint that are not as... Like, if you're painting... like something that's like fleshy, like a... Oof. If you're painting, like Poxwalkers play... Dude, just Wraithbone and Contrast and be done with it, right? But with AdMech, you have like red robes and like metal armor, which is actually not that bad. But I think they're one of the coolest new ranges. I don't think Leagues of Votann are really cool. I think that AdMech is amazing. There's a big rumor that Dark AdMech is coming. And that the 10th edition is coming in June or July. I think it says June 24th, 2023. And it's going to be Dark Angels versus Tyranids. Well, I thought it was going to be Blood Angels versus Tyranids. And it's going to bring Lionel Johnson. Oh, give me that Diamantine, baby. Remember, Reapers do a ton of damage to your health. Like that noise. Just shooting at the wall, lady, you crazy bitch. Yeah, Dark AdMech are supposed to be coming. Yeah, the Lion is coming at the end of the current thing. I'm pretty sure someone posted it on 4chan, but I'm pretty sure what's his name covered it too. The Lord of Tinfoil. Oh no. Yep. Shot while on the ground. Here, I'll show you guys. The new Space Marines will receive a codex and rules for chapters is changing completely and will be explained in Special White Dwarf releasing in May 2023, closer to release on Warhammer Community website. The new edition will also see GW retiring the current range of texture paints, and they will be replaced with new products using new materials intended to be another contrast paint style product to quickly allow beginners in a partnership with Screen Products Limited. Hey, got me up.
To help, sir. Can always rely on you.
Remember, guys, if you are watching on YouTube, please do jump over. No, I'm burning alive.